Welcome boys and girls, Christine here with a discussion about Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires. And what I want to do in this particular video is talk about the inherent systemic issues of the game using the example of Bretonnia. Because Bretonnia is the perfect example of how the game gets broken. Every single day, in every single way. And this is the key issue. Bretonnia, the reason it stands so good as an example of the various issues that the game has is because Bretonnia has a bit of a mix of everything. It has the mix of different foes, vampire counts, it's got Grom the Punch, etc. And those things are true, but it never has enough room to grow. From a provincial, from a province situation, the fact that you only have these particular two settlement regions in these provinces of Bretonnia inherently limits the potential of growth of Bretonnia. Bretonnia in itself has an inherent amount of growth, but that growth only works if there are provinces in place in order to sustain it. Then we have the issue of climate. Bretonnia has decent climate, but it doesn't have enough room to grow. And that's always been the issue for Bretonnia. Lots of sieges, and sieges are fine. Like, actually fighting siege battles should be fine, but the problem with sieges is they work as a kind of so-called restraining system. And when sieges work as a restraining system, as opposed to something that any player with any kind of level of capability can smash through with ease, it diminishes the quality enjoyment of the game. That's enough about game-specific issues. Let's talk about the particular issues of Bretonnia, because there are tons of them. The vow system that doesn't work, requires you to fight in places where you should never fight a campaign. The heroes that don't have unique skills, and there's always only two. The economy of Bretonnia that's really good, but every time you actually get another army to lead said army, you again have to go for the vows. You have to get the vows in order to unlock the knights, and you have to go through that entire system in order to even get the knights to use them. The knights themselves of Bretonnia are very strong, very good. That's what they are. Knights are always going to be good, because knights show up in the place everyone least expects it. But here's the thing about knights. Knights do need a support structure behind them, a proper one, not one to limit them, because knights, true knights of Bretonnia, they will always show up whenever someone expects them the least. But if you look at the Bretonnian example, from a game perspective, knights do lack that support structure. They're hard to recruit, they're very expensive, they're slow to recruit, they take too much time, they require the vows, and they don't have any kind of support structure behind them. They lack the infantry capable of holding the line while they do their job, because Bretonnian infantry is not bad, it's just imbalanced. It's a similar issue with the Empire, it's a similar issue with other races as well. When we look at the consideration of armor, and obviously the armor situation is a problem with regards to how Autoresolve works. And an Autoresolve is a balancing act. The way Autoresolve should function is that it pushes you towards engagements that are really fun. A battle like this is not particularly fun. I am using a mod to improve that, and that's why I've always used a mod. But the baseline game in itself does not function like that. The fact that every single settlement has a specific Autoresolve benefit to it inherently, and field armies don't, it means that you end up fighting a lot more of these kind of battles, which are not interesting whatsoever, than you end up having to fight the actual battles that are good. And that's always been the kind of systemic issue Warhammer 3 has. You also struggle with visibility, with alliances, with diplomacy, with all the kind of things, climate like Cathay, because Cathay is a good race, they just lack the support structure of casualty replenishment, climate, etc. I'm going to slow down for a bit, because obviously that is a lot of information to share at once, but that is the core of how Warhammer 3 gets fixed. And before I end this video, I need to talk about certain things that people like me go through on a daily basis. Someone like Legend, someone like me. We say these things not because we love saying these things, not because we love raging. It hurts a lot more to have to scream for someone like myself in daily life. It hurts when everyone views you as some kind of crazy person that needs to be controlled. And that's what's been happening on my YouTube channel for some level of time, and I'm aware of it. The people who watch it, the moderating teams, the various parties, the people who handle the monetization, the people who allow you in certain places because they're afraid of what you would do over there. And from a creative assembly perspective, the people who control systems in creative assembly, the people who control the financials, they're not allowing developers to do their jobs. They're afraid developers will go too far, and you can look at Tomb King's rework, Lizardman rework to understand the consequences when they do go too far in the wrong way. The company almost goes financial collapse in a month because they did stupid. But Developers also need to learn about what the people who control those financials and control the laws and regulations and practical implementation of those things, what they're saying. That's the problem with the artists. The problem with artists, they just view vibes, they view art, and they want it unrestrained, but you do need it to have a certain form, a certain structure that functions, and that structure as well of how they deliver content in the game is broken. The fact that every YouTuber like myself ends up having a diminished channel because the YouTube algorithm does not appreciate what we do, even though YouTube itself doesn't stop us, is also a problem. It is a balancing act, and it's not easy. But I've been carrying that balancing act for over 16 fucking years on YouTube, and I'm just tired of seeing my channel stagnate because a bunch of people assume, and that's the dangerous thing. The people who work in safety, they need to stop assuming someone's a threat. The people who know someone is a threat need to understand what limits should be. And admittedly, I've never handled that myself very well. I do apologize for that, but that is my perspective on YouTube content creation and total Warhammer 3 in general. Kostin signing off.